You're watching TelecomTV from the MEF16 event in Baltimore. And I'm joined now by Eric Cevis, who is President of Verizon Partner Solutions. Yes. Eric, thanks very much for joining us on TelecomTV. Hey. Pleasure to meet you.
Great, you too.
You've just come hot-footed from behind us here,
yes,
which is day one of the MEF16 event, and you were keynoting.
Yes.
And the title of your presentation was Delivering the Hyper-Connected World. What does a hyper-connected world look like?
Yeah. I tell you guys, it looks like exactly what we're experiencing today in my vantage point, because people want to be able to communicate anywhere, anytime, on any device. And so candidly, it's really the environment we're in right now today. And if you think of the demands of our millennials in this particular space, it's continue to make sure we find ways to keep people connected, data consumption continue to move forward, and in that environment, making certain people can communicate in this hyper-connected environment called this great network we have.
Now, to do this, we're using technology, and the MEF has been promoting and developing a number of technologies and approaches. There are key telecoms pieces, enablers, if you like, that need to come together. So what needs to happen on the network front for us to maintain and evolve this hyper-connected world?
Yeah, very great question. If I look at Verizon in the years I've been here, it's all been about the network for us. And we always believe if you can handle that connectivity network layer, then it gives you those opportunities to build upon it with platforms and solutions. So what we believe we've got to bring together, and I really love the work that MEF is doing in this area, is really dealing with the standards, advancing the standards for interoperability. Because we have to collaborate, we have to communicate across our networks, internationally and domestically. So I think the interoperability standards are big. Candidly, our APIs, making certain whether it's quoting or end-to-end management solutions that we're putting forward, pricing that we're putting forward, ordering of services. How do we make it more self-serve and easier for customers at the end of the day? And then the work MEF's doing around what I call Lifecycle service orchestration. They're really big on the LSO standards around this, really making certain that interoperability, and we can actually do from a lifecycle standpoint, the orchestration and the collaboration of these networks. And then lastly, I'd probably take you to just the MEF standards themselves. If we can actually build toward a standard, it saves us all time and energy and money going around and trying to figure it out on our own, but collaborate together so that the industry and our customers can all meet together at the same time.
Now, something you said in your answer there, great answer, and you mentioned simplification and simplifying for customers. Yeah. So when customers are looking to take advantage of these on-demand and agile services, they cross networks.
Yes.
So how do we really simplify this process of interoperability between different networks?
Well, I think the biggest thing we do is we go back to the comment I made about standards. Is really allowing us to make certain that as we do these handoffs and these handshakes between carriers, that the interoperability standards are in place. And therefore we continue to move down that vein. The work that we continue to do relative to MEF 2.0 and really embracing those so that we're all building to that such that you can communicate across networks across the globe. Because this is a world issue. This is a world solution that we're trying to care for at the end of the day. And if we all kind of go in this together in a collaborative framework and look across the board on standards, look at interoperability, look at what we can do on those API connections, then at the end of the day, we'll provide an end-to-end solution for our customers.
So what is Verizon doing specifically? It's
interesting. I've been in the company going on about 30 years now, and so I've seen the transition and the transformation that's taking place. Candidly, I mean, we probably have one of the top capital budgets in the world. We spend about $17 billion a year investing in our network and our network infrastructure. But beyond the network and the physical infrastructure, what are the tools that we're investing in to make more self-service, to make things more scalable, more agile for the industry to take advantage of? And so if I look at that type of capital investment that we're putting forward, looking at what we're doing in rolling out fiber across the footprint, knowing that copper to fiber migration will allow for a more reliable service experience for our customers at the end of the day. We believe that's going to make a big difference, and it's going to connect so many places now where you may have missed a lot of small businesses or mass enterprise businesses. By rolling out this kind of deployment that we're doing on more of a global basis, we'll continue to pick up more and more opportunities for SMB and mass markets to leverage this as well.
When you're connecting with other providers who don't have the same budget, they don't have the same scale as Verizon, how do we ensure more constructive partnerships? How do we enable this? Because we've all got to be in it, haven't we, to make it work?
Yeah, no, it's so true. And what we've tried to do in Verizon is we've actually created a number of what we call innovation labs. And so we've got one out on the West Coast, the East Coast, and we kind of put these innovation labs out. And what we're doing in these labs is we're not thinking it all has to be organic any longer, that it has to come Verizon, but it actually can come from our partners in this industry. And so we will invest in entrepreneurship, really trying to look for what are those killer applications coming down the road? What are the solutions that they're looking for? Machine to machine, the Internet of Things. How do we leverage those type of approaches that give us an opportunity to broaden our thinking so it's not kind of a silo position, but really what is the world looking for? Whether it's the Internet of Things, machine to machine, the things that we're doing, and the interoperability about those things. We purchased a company called Fleetmatics and Telematics. Even looking, what do we do in this area when you start looking at the automobile industry or the financial industry? What do you do in there to make certain you're giving secure services to deal with the security issues that are going on in the industry? Or even healthcare. We all believe that these vertical stacks, as well as these partnerships with small, medium, and large players, will allow us all to win at the end of the day.
Excellent. And if I could ask a final question, we've already talked about the MEF's role in this and the standardization initiatives, but just how important is the MEF's role in standards initiatives to support this hyper-connected world?
Without an MEF type of approach to this, we'd all be out kind of in our silos, delivering and building what we think the end user wants. What I believe MEF has done for us is allow us to pull together and aggregate the voice of the customer. And based upon that aggregated voice of the customer, how do we collaborate together? And so one of the best things they can do is continue to push us down the path on this lifecycle service orchestration, with the belief that with that software-defined networking will deliver those end-to-end solutions that we're looking for our customers to take advantage of going forward.
Eric, a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.